What's up, gospel movie lovers all over the world? You're welcome to my media review video where I take a look at the progress made in the drama and film ministry in 2023 so far and highlight areas where there can be improvements in the second half of the year. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it. New genres. I have always held the thought that there are countless genres we are yet to explore in Christian film production. By the grace of God, this year has given us Bros, a movie in the comedy genre that successfully delivers its Christian themes. In the words of the same director, the forthcoming Prey is a thriller, mystery, crime and faith-based movie with a tinge of horror if you ask me, judging from that poster. Furthermore, the biopic genre has a new addition in Enoch, which is only the second cinematic entry after The Train 3 years ago. I look forward to us delving into other genres such as sci-fi and musicals. Trending. It is a thing of great joy to have two 2023 movies hit and surpass the 1 million views benchmark on YouTube in only a matter of days. The biopic Enoch and the Winlow's movie Prophet Suddenly. This has never happened before, guys. And only a few days ago, Prophet Suddenly hit 2 million views on YouTube. More people are watching gospel movies, and I am glad that they have two of the best as beacons of the Christian film ministry in Nigeria. Who knows, a couple more may yet make this elite list before the end of the year. Now that would be something truly remarkable. Better quality. I genuinely believe that this year, the production value of gospel movies has gone up. More dynamic stories are being told in interesting ways. Project Steve, for example, is a movie on marriage but has nuances that make it feel fresh. 30 Pieces isn't the first movie about the police force, but is creatively packaged. These and many more has resulted in a conundrum for me ahead of my top 10 movies end of the year list, because from the look of things, I might have 2 or more movies in each position. Well, that would be something special, wouldn't it? Release model. The movie Melita has provided a viable solution to an issue that has bothered me for a while. Unless otherwise stated, I personally expect a movie scheduled for YouTube release to be feature length. Many times though, I have been momentarily disillusioned when they've turned out to be shorts, parts, episodes, or worse still, amorphous. I'm not against any of the 3 previously mentioned forms in any way, but I think it is only fair that viewers have a fair idea of what they've signed up for. Enter Melita, which was announced before release to be a 4-part film. It's great to see regard still being given to the traditional concept of a sequel in spite of the evolution of streaming platforms like YouTube. To keep things orderly, I hereby propose that feature films split into parts on YouTube should have the tag part attached to them, kind of in the way when we used to use VCDs and there was a disc A, disc B, sometimes disc 1, disc 2. We should now have, for a movie titled Bent, for example, Bent Part A, Bent Part B, Bent Part C, and on, depending on how many parts the movie was split into. This would be different from the original movie Bent, and then the sequel Bent 2, and Bent 3, which would be another sequel. Wait, I think I'm already talking about areas of improvement. Okay, we're going to short break. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now to the areas of improvement. Film form. Like I hinted at earlier, I have seen a number of Christian films that have no form or suffer from a loss or lack of identity. I think this has to be determined at the stage of writing the script, because this would inform choices that will be made about it later on. I'm not saying that it's wrong for the form of a movie to change, but how it's done matters a great deal. A short like 12 Years and a Day became the remarkable feature Surrender and looks set to be the final installment in the Surrender movies. That shows good foresight in planning and knowing when not to unnecessarily extend a franchise. A film that changes form without these two values would become a horrid time for the viewer. In essence, I'm saying that the film form, short, feature, or a series of episodes would be best determined ahead of production, and this should be communicated to the viewer before release. Sound design. I cannot say just how much music and sound are important in filmmaking. Though there have been minuscule improvements in this regard over the years, it's still grossly deficient in Christian movies from these shows. I played with producers and editors to give more attention to this aspect of post-production. I'm not sure, but I think I might prefer a movie with no background music to one that repeats a single song over and over again throughout the production. It can be really distracting. I opine that it's just a matter of application and not necessarily coming up with something complex. If you check out The Chosen series, directed by Dallas Jenkins, I don't think it's ever used songs as background tunes. It's just soft strings and chants, effectively placed at different points. So I urge directors to ensure that Christian movies with single music that causes monotony of sound becomes a thing of the past. Please. Series in seasons. Similar to my first point under this aspect of improvements is the concept of seasons in Christian film production. Typically, new seasons are released at different points of the year or on an annual basis. I believe that's why they are called seasons. Also, the end of a season is usually marked by a level of closure of major plot lines and even cliffhangers ahead of the following season. Here, however, I have seen non-resolution season finales and 2 seasons consequently released back to back. For me, those seasons are actually a single season cut into 2 by no known standard. I would like to urge Christian filmmakers to properly produce their seasons and release them annually, quarterly, or at any other time interval that is meaningful. Runtimes and pacing. Whether a short or a full-length movie, pacing, which could vary at different points, plays an important role in how long a film can keep the audience engaged. My observation is that a fair number of movies don't have the right pacing and are just simply boring. Furthermore, I consider some of these movies to have bloated runtimes, and this should not be. Hence, I urge editors and directors to cut what isn't necessary in the flow of their movies and should not attempt to make them reach a particular length extrinsically. Time is life, and the audience should be given value for every single minute they use watching Christian movies. Overflogging. I am of the opinion that 2 entities, establishment shots and messages, are being overflogged in some productions. Aerial shots in particular have almost lost their appeal to me because they have been used in unnecessary places and indiscriminately repeated in movies over the past year. That is why seeing a creative take on it in this year's borrowed time thrills me every time. There are innumerable ways one can transition between scenes, and I urge filmmakers to embrace those. Also, I'm a lover of the film medium, and I know that well-told stories hit the audience in unprecedented ways. Hence, I feel that it is not necessary for the audience to be sermonized all over again if the key thing was well done. That leads me to character development. One key element of story crafting is character development. Effectively done, the audience is engaged and invests in the journeys of authentic, relatable characters. I have noticed that a good number of Christian films just launch into the conflict without making the audience care about any of the characters. At the end of the day, I'm just an onlooker for such productions. To nip this in the bud, I believe that gospel screenwriters need to embrace the concept of setup in the first act of their movies. Conclusively, I believe that whatever is good should be publicized. Thus, producers should put more effort into getting movie viewers aware of their upcoming productions in different forms through social media. Alright, we've come to the end of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Like this video and please share to quarters where you think they would be of value. Thank you very much. Till the next video, stay blessed.